So the next knob here is the effects knob, which helps you to send effects on the effects bus. And in this mixer we have 16 various effects, but using this effects selector you can only select one at a time, and so using this knob you can be able to decide which of the 16 effects do I need to apply to my mixing. And maybe I decide I want effects number 1, and that is reverb hall 1, which with this knob I'm able to decide how much of that effects do I need. And then after selecting the level of the effects that you need, so using this knob you can be able to send that effect on the effect bus, and this is the effects bus on this mixer. So after you send it here, now you are able to determine whether do you want to send it to the group 1, 2, or group 3, 4, or to the stereo or the main out bus. So that's all about effects in this mixer. And other mixers we have more effects, and maybe they provide you the ability to select various effects on different channels. The next knob that I mostly use here is panning, and this one helps me to create more room for my audio, especially in vocals. So panning helps you to create more room, and when you have more room you don't have to increase the level because each and every vocalist have their space. So when I pan some to the left, I'll hear them from the left, and then pan the other from the right, I'll hear them from the right, rather than just having them at the center and then I have to keep and increasing the level so that I can hear them clearly. So that's the way I use panning. And also for guitars, if I'm having 2 guitars, I can pan one guitar to the left, and then if I have instruments that are producing 2 frequencies that are similar, I can pan one to the left and then that to the right. So, and also for the lead vocalist, because that's the main thing, I usually don't pan that. It will always at the center, and then maybe for kick I prefer to have it at the center. Also for the low frequencies, it is not advisable for you to pan anything that gives you low frequency. It's very important to understand what should I pan and what I should not pan. So the next thing that we see here is the on button. So when you press that button, it helps you to put that channel on, and then that helps you that whatever you do now on this fader, it's sent to wherever the bus that you want to send to. The next thing here that is very important to you to understand, it's the PFL, and this is called the pre-fader listen. This one I use it to check the signal level. I can use the headphones, where if I connect the headphones, I can be able to pre-listen to whatever is getting in my channel with the headphones without even engaging the fader, and also without the on button being on. So therefore I can determine how loud is that signal coming from the source. So, and then when you engage the PFL button, the meter will always light up to show you the level of that input signal. So it's very advisable to use that even before you start balancing anything, so that you may be sure that the signal you are getting from the source is enough for processing. The next thing here is a button that is labeled 1, 2, and then another one 3 to 4, and then the other one ST. So what this button does, there's something that we call groupings when mixing. So grouping usually is used to be able to control a certain group of your signal inputs, so that you can be able to control the levels using that group. You can also apply effects of that group, and this in this case I can decide to have maybe this channels number 5 and channel number 6, which has a microphone, set them to group 1, 2. So in this case I don't have to set them to ST. ST means stereo, the main output. So I can just first set them to group 1, 2, and then my instrument I set them to group 3, 4. So in this case I have my lead vocalist, and then I can have the background vocals, or BGVs, and then after that I have my guitar here, and then I have my my piano here, such that now I will be able to control the level of piano and guitar together, and then the level of the singers together. So when I send them to the group, it means that this channel number 5 and 6 will come to this group, and this group is group 1 and 2. So the output of these two will come here. So therefore, if I want to increase the level of those two together, I can use this fader to increase that level. So, and then also for these two, I can also use 3, 4 to increase that. And now from there, I can now send the groupings to stereo, and then now the two go to the main output. So therefore, in any case I realize that my singers are much higher than the instrument, I can reduce using this without going back to the channel faders. And then if I realize the instruments are too loud from the compared with the vocalist, I can just reduce this without going back to the original channel. And then yeah, that's what I send to the main output. So all these channels are just the same way. So if when you understand how to operate this mixer of just one channel, you are good to go and operate all the other channels, just a repetition of each other. And then if you remember, I was talking about the auxiliary. So when you send any of the channels to the auxiliary bus, actually this now is the auxiliary send them, or the main output of that auxiliary. So when I increase this channel on this with this knob, I'll get that I'm sending this output to this. On the same case, when I increase this fader, I'm sending this output to the main fader or to the groupings according to what I've selected here. So the next thing to understand about this mixer, if you have the condenser microphones, which needs the phantom power, it has the phantom power where it applies from channel 1 to channel 12 for these inputs. It applies from channel 1 to 12 for these inputs. And then so when I engage the phantom power, it's whenever you need it on any of those channels, you can get the phantom power in case you are using a condenser microphone. And now this is the meter for you that you can use to check your levels. So this mixer has two XLR outputs, that is the main outputs, and then you can also use jack, and also we have the auxiliary 1 and auxiliary 2. So whenever you send any of the output, any of the channels to the auxiliary bus, this is where you get out from the mixer. And then also you can also have the group outs in case you need to have your grouping out to somewhere else. This is where you can connect them. And now this is where you connect your headphones when you want to listen to what is getting either out of the mixer or in any of the channels. So thank you for watching, and I hope that you've learned something in the process. And if you have any question, please write it down on the comment section, and see you in the next lesson.